Hello, what brings you to Springfield?
I work for a Nebraska company named Tenaska that makes money developing and operating power plants. I'm here lobbying state legislators to subsidize a proposed plant in Taylorville, Illinois.
What's the deal with the Taylorville plant?
Well, we want to build a plant to make synthetic natural gas from coal. Then, we'll burn the gas to make electricity.
Interesting concept, but I have some questions.
Sure, fire away.
Will you be straight with me?
Do I have to?
I know it's difficult, but I won't tell anyone.
Okay, just this one time.
Well, I guess my first question is whether this electricity would be any different from the electricity we already have in Illinois.
Yes.
How so?
Well, it will be more than twice as expensive. That's why we need the subsidy. It'll cost Illinois consumers $285 million more every year for the next 30 years. These plants almost always cost considerably more than we estimate, so it could be a lot higher. It's probably easiest just to think of it as a new tax.
You're kidding me, right?
No. You made me promise to tell the truth.
Are you saying it would cost $285 million more than if we bought electricity from other sources, like wind, solar, efficiency, or even natural gas?
Yeah, that's right. But don't worry. Homeowners won't be hit nearly as bad as things like businesses, schools, hospitals, and municipalities.
This is absurd. Are we in desperate need of more electricity in Illinois?
No. Illinois produces a lot more electricity than we need.
Well, is there a shortage in the Midwest?
No, there's more than enough in the Midwest.
I heard the EPA is putting tighter controls on coal-fired power plants. Maybe we'll need more power plants when those take effect.
Some people have been saying that, but it's dubious at best. We have so many excess power plants that we'll still have plenty of capacity. Plus, many of the large power plants will retrofit and keep operating.
What's your source for that conclusion?
I hate to argue against our position, but the regional organizations that secure electrical supply for Illinois and the Midwest, MISO and PJM, say we'll be just fine without building more power plants.
Now I'm more confused than ever. It seems that you want Illinois citizens to spend $285 million a year for the next 30 years for something we don't need. There must be more to the story. I understand that the people from Tenaska want to make money, but nothing you've said explains why Illinois legislators should pass this law.
Oh, there's another reason I almost forgot to tell you. This is going to be a clean coal plant. Heck, it won't produce nearly as much pollution as the old coal plants. In fact, it might even capture some of the greenhouse gases, mostly carbon dioxide, and store them deep underground, where they might stay for a long time.
Hold on a second. You threw in a lot of words there. Clean coal, creating not as much pollution that might be captured and stored, some of which might stay in the ground for a long time. Can we break that down a little?
I'd rather not. It sounds pretty convincing the way I said it.
When you say clean coal, do you mean that it will produce less pollution than other ways of making electricity?
Well, of course not. We just mean it would be cleaner than the old-style coal plants. It will still produce considerable pollution, and of course, there's the environmental damage from coal mining itself, and the coal waste that the plant will produce.
I'm exhausted by this, but I do have a couple more questions. You said the proposed plant might capture some of the greenhouse gases and store them underground. Well, are you, or aren't you? And how much?
Well, we've always told legislators that we intend to do that, but we were leaving all our options open. In our application to the Illinois Environmental Protection Agency, we said we could not commit to sequestering our pollution. We're not sure we'll be able to do it.
So let's see if I've got this straight. You want legislators to force Illinois citizens to pay a massive subsidy to a Nebraska company to build a power plant we don't need. A power plant that would be vastly more expensive than other ways to produce electricity, hurting businesses and schools at a time when they are already struggling. A power plant that would produce a great deal of pollution, environmental damage and greenhouse gases, some of which might or might not be captured and stored. and this $8 billion subsidy would go on for 30 years, to be paid for in large measure by our children. This sounds more like a stick-up than a law. You must think we're all a bunch of suckers.
Well, we're hoping so. Nice talking with you. I've got to get back to work and talk with some more legislators. Sure hope they don't ask as many questions.